What is going on, everybody? I am finally back. It has been probably a month since the last upload, unfortunately, and it was definitely not supposed to be that way, but as you guys know, it's like the beginning of March now, but this time of year, like January, February, a lot of people get like the flu and stuff. People get sick, and I got nailed this year. Beginning of February, I actually tested positive for you know what, which honestly, you know, for me, it wasn't a big deal, but I was down and out for a while because of that, and then right when I was starting to recover, I had a video like 80% done that I was thinking about posting. It had been like, you know, 2 weeks since I last uploaded. I got nailed again by a different sort of virus that I'm not sure what it was. That was even worse. I was just like, I was in no condition to try to film or be out here doing a bunch of stuff for a long time. And you know me, I'm obsessed with making sure that each video is better than the last one. And you know, it's kind of hard to do that when you're sick. So kind of had to shift my focus to other things and lay low, but we're finally back with a full upload, which I'm super happy about. But you can probably hear my voice is still messed up a little bit, and I'm still coughing, and like I'm still dying, still struggling a little bit, but hey, I'm here, I feel good, and I'm glad to be back out here in the shop. So I just want to say my apologies for the break, but we're finally back. I'm a pretty antisocial dude, so I usually am better off than most people, but not this year. We're back though, and it's time to finally make some progress on the PT-GT. Some of this was filmed before my little hiatus, and then some of it is still being filmed right now that I'm back, finishing up some progress. So this is gonna be a good video of us finally finishing the teardown and cleaning things up and getting started with the whole freshening up process of the PT-GT. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this video. I'm very excited to be back working on the PT-GT today. In the last episode, you guys saw we got the motor all pulled out of the car. We got the transmission separated from the motor, which we have stored over here, and we have everything apart in the front end. We made some huge progress, but since then, I've just been kind of idle. I've been looking to source some parts, and you guys know the story. Today, I want to finally begin tearing the rest of everything down, and by the end of this video, I want to have like everything torn out and cleaned up and just kind of figure out every little thing that we need to do, get this all cleaned up and everything tucked. But right now, the main things we need to remove are this coolant tank as well as this stuff over here. One of those is for the AC and one is like a little purge valve for like the evap system. Got our cruise control servo and our boost solenoids here that we can remove. Also the PCM and the fuse box. I wanted to at least loosen the fuse box. I don't know if I'll completely remove it. It depends. I'm also going to pull the paneling up here. As of right now, what I'm hoping to do, and I won't really know if I'm able to until we get everything apart, but I had the idea, what if we put the PCM down in here, modified everything and put it down in here so we could run the wires in behind the firewall. We could run actually all of our wires through the firewall, all of our vacuum lines and everything. We could redo them, tuck them away that way, and then we could tuck wires down through the fenders, lengthen them as needed and modify them as needed. So not only will they be better protected, but most importantly, this engine bay will look way cleaner. It'll shield our PCM from all of the heat soak kind of issues that they are known for having. It gives us much better access at all of our brake stuff here, including our ABS and our future maybe clutch cylinder or whatever. This will be like the first step in figuring that out and deciding how exactly we're gonna tuck everything. Because I want to like, I guess not completely like shave the engine bay or anything like that, but I really want to like just get a lot of stuff tucked and modify a lot of stuff to make things easier in the future to maintenance, get stuff out of the way, and just make the engine bay look 10 times cleaner. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and start pulling some stuff out, and then hopefully we can get to this crappy insulation and pull that out as well, because that is disgusting. I'm very excited for this moment. I've wanted to do this like for forever. And that is remove this stupid insulation back here that's been peeling and is absolutely disgusting looking. It's literally just like falling apart as I pull it out. It's so gross. Oh, it's so full of like dirt. Can you see that dust? It's so nasty. Oh, ugh. Oh, don't breathe that in. Ugh. Oh, that's so gross. It makes me so happy to have that out of here. You guys have no idea. I'm so excited to clean that up and get rid of that crap and do our own heat management custom. Oh, I am already so excited, dude. Holy crap. So I'm gonna be removing these like heater hoses and a few lines like that. These are brake lines, so I'm probably gonna try to keep them at least in here. The same with the fuel line, although I might loosen them up so we can like move them around as needed to like do body work and paint or whatever in the future and clean. I think this is a, oh yeah, this is just like a little drain hose. All these vacuum lines, it looks like they're about ready to all just come out. There's one on the brake booster that I need to remove, but I'm gonna like label them before I pull them. I've already labeled the main ones on the turbo. There's a couple like of the intake that are kind of obvious. All this stuff, all of the boost controller lines, they're all still plugged in, so I don't have to worry about like labeling them. I just have to unplug them and label those accordingly. And then I can pull all of the vacuum lines and stuff out. There we go. Just one last line for the cruise control to get disconnected. There we go. There it is. The whole freaking massive harness is now completely out of the car and labeled up to the best of my ability. Good enough that we know where everything goes. So this right here, this whole freaking mess confuses a lot of people. And I've had countless people pulling their motor or like doing stuff like that messaged me wanting to know like where a lot of these lines go and stuff. And this is like the last thing keeping their car from running, and they couldn't figure out where all this bull crap all connects to. And this is Chrysler's slightly overcomplicated, basically boost controller that is controlled by the PCM. That's what these little solenoids here are for. They control the boost according to the computer. So basically like at low speed, like in first gear, it limits the boost more than in like second and third gear or like up in speed like that. And you can see I actually tapped into the one with this little like pressure valve last year to try to build my own boost controller to up my boost a few pounds. And it did work. My car has a stage 1 PCM from Mopar, so the way that is tuned, it didn't freak out when it saw a little bit more boost. So I was able to do that. Normally like stock PCM, they'll cut or go in the limp mode, I believe anyway. But that's what this is it's basically a boost controller, and that's what all this runs to. It runs to get vacuum, and it runs off of the turbo, the wastegate. There's lines that connect everywhere for different stuff. This right here is just an evap line that happens to tap into vacuum in the same area. This right here is where I had my boost controller tapped in, but normally that would go like to the throttle body. There's also a line for the brake booster, but that's what all that crap does. And that's why there's all these extra hoses and stuff. It's because they're running off these solenoids that open and close to allow more or less vacuum to the wastegate on the turbo accordingly, so that this can allow more boost to happen. So kind of cool. I still don't fully have it figured out, but that's what all that is for all of you that were wondering. And I'm hoping to simplify it. What I'd really like to do is, before putting it all back together, is it'd be cool to run our own separate like boost controller and just completely get rid of all the stock boost controlling crap, get rid of those solenoids and stuff. The only problem with that is I don't know if that would cause like check engine light issues and stuff like that, or if I'd somehow have to trick the computer or bypass it somehow, or keep it in there but also run a controller on top of it, which would kind of suck. It'd be nice to just get rid of all that, or at least go through that and get rid of most of those stupid little lines for those solenoids, but I don't know. We shall see. Now that we got all that crap out of the way, now we can go ahead and start pulling the PCM and some of the stuff over here.
So with the PCM out of the way, you can see that the bracket that actually holds it in place, it's a 2-piece bracket. And the one piece bolts to the PCM itself here, as you can see, like this would come off with these 3 bolts, and then this little metal piece would come off. And that bolts to this with 4 other bolts that keeps it kind of extended out. It's kind of a weird design, but this part of the bracket is actually like welded or whatever to the firewall of the car. So I can't just like unbolt this, at least not very easily. We could potentially cut it off, which is probably what we'll have to do. It'd be kind of cool if we could somehow find a way to reuse that on the inside here, depending on what we do. But just from kind of taking an initial look here, it looks like it's definitely going to be a tight fit if we do end up putting the PCM in here, obviously because of the wiper motor being there. But I think it is still a possibility. We could either do that, or we could potentially mount it like downward on the bottom like this instead instead of up like that. Just as long as we found a way to do it so that there was enough room so it could like be cooled, because you know, computers get warm and stuff. You want to make sure that it doesn't get heat soaked. That's the main thing. But I think the potential is still there. We have to do some thinking and some calculating, some figuring, but we'll figure something out either way. What would be really handy is to just get rid of the stock PCM and do a standalone at this point, but that costs a lot of money that I do not have right now. Very disgusting looking transmission mount out of the way. Actually, the bushing seems to be in pretty good shape though, which I'm very surprised to see. Yo. Those heater hoses are looking kind of bad. Might be a good idea to replace them before putting everything together too. I'm also hoping to spend at some point, probably a couple days tearing the dash out and pulling the whole heater core and everything out. Because not only do I want to replace the AC condenser thing in there, but I'd also like to maintenance the heater core, replace it, and clean the whole box out. The cabin air filter is supposed to go over here. As you can see on my car, there isn't even one in there. It's really hard to get at. Usually you have to loosen the bolts on the washer fluid reservoir to get at it. I was told, and now I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told by a few of you guys that from the factory they actually did not have a cabin air filter installed in them, which makes no sense to me because it's like a little paper filter that probably cost nothing to manufacture. So it's not uncommon for stuff to get down in there, and even for like animals and stuff to build nests down in there. Because as you can see over on this side of the well over here, we got like a bunch of shavings from like a squirrel or a chipmunk. There's even a nut or two there, and they could totally like get in there. You can even see where there's like part of the like netting missing, where they could totally like get in there and put stuff in there. You guys might remember when I replaced the heater core on my other car, the Daily Cruiser right there. I actually, when I pulled the box apart, I found just tons of crap caked in the AC unit on that side. So it's never a bad idea to take it apart and maintenance it when possible. All right, we're back at it, boys.
I'm here.
We got the wiring harness pulled out here that goes to the fuse box. That was like the last main thing I wanted to get out of the way before we start doing some cleaning. The fuse box and the brakes I am going to keep in here, at least for now, and we're going to start doing an initial cleaning hopefully today and start getting things degreased. But this harness we're going to try to like pull through, and this is one of the harnesses we're probably going to modify before everything goes back in, so might as well pull it through, and I'm labeling everything and just getting it ready so we can pull it out and then kind of cover everything up. Also, steering rack's probably going to come out. I do want to reseal that, and I might as well pull it out. We're getting there. We're getting there, kind of on the final stretch before we're completely cleaned up and ready to start building back up, which I'm very excited for. Got the car pushed back a little bit with the jack. It's not fully out of the shop, but far enough that we won't get the floor completely dirty. So we're literally just gonna hit it with like this engine degreaser, and he can't contain himself. He's got to start spraying.
I was just picturing me spraying you in the face.
Wow, okay. Yeah, we got a bunch of this, a brake cleaner, stuff like that.
I've done this.
We don't have like a hose running out here yet because it's winter and it's been cold and frozen, but I bought a little half-gallon sprayer that I could like fill up with water, and we could like rinse some stuff down, and in the future could put cool chemicals in it or whatever. I've been meaning to get one for a while, but let's go, man. Let's get it soaked up.
I ain't watering no flowers.
Bluetooth pairing.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Finally got the rack and pinion out of the car. That was a pain in the butt. I forgot how big of a pain that was before. Ended up removing the tie rod on that end, and I also had to pound the roll pin out so that I could pull the steering shaft off here. But the reason I pulled the rack out not only is so we can clean everything better and do some good painting and stuff, but I also want to rebuild it because it has a slow leak coming from the seals, I assume, and I'm probably going to attempt to rebuild it myself here because I think you can get gasket kits and stuff. I know people have done it before, so I think I might try to do it here. Also, I believe it was this line, our one high pressure line, was leaking a tiny bit, so probably gonna need a new O-ring or more, I don't know, but that's gonna get all taken care of before it goes back in the car as well. But I'm really excited that we got our initial cleanup done. This engine bay was disgusting, and we got the majority of the dirt out. Obviously, we're gonna have to wipe everything down and get it perfectly clean before we paint or anything, as well as our subframe here. You can see there's some grease that was under the rack, but some brake cleaner will take care of that. The main cleaning is done, and all of this is going to stay in the car for the majority of that. I just have this loose plastic on it, but we'll remove a few lines, loosen up like the brake lines and stuff, get everything masked off, and a lot of these wires will hopefully be tucked before everything goes back in, so we're going to be loosening them up as well, pulling the headlights out and getting everything prepped and ready. Then we'll shoot some good paint in here. It's going to look so nice. I cannot wait for you guys to see what we do with that. Also, I think I'm going to separate it into a separate video. I was originally going to do it all together, but I think it'd be cool to do this as a separate video, like the engine tear down and cleaning up and figuring everything out with that, like the engine itself. So that's what I'm going to plan to do. You can see the engine is pretty gross as well. This is the front of the engine, obviously, and then the turbo side is just as nasty, if not worse. We'll also address things like our oil lines, the lines that are known for having coking issues. That's going to be a good video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But guys, it has been over a month since the last video, and I can't wait any longer to upload. I'm so excited to finally give you guys an update on this car and the latest that is going down with it. And now you guys know. That next video you could probably expect to be out within the next few days. Again, guys, my apologies that this video took so long to come out, but at this point I am obsessed with making sure that every single video that I put up is better than the next, and I'd rather wait than do the opposite. And this video, well, I didn't really have much choice if that was going to be the case. So really excited to be back, and again, we'll have the update on the motor teardown and everything like that, and some parts. Hopefully we'll be here by then that we can install. That will be all in the next video. Also have a video out on the whole daily driver situation coming very soon as well. So expect videos to be a few days apart, but they will be coming frequently now. I'll be posting about it a lot everywhere, so follow us on all our social media down below. Really excited for 2022, and now that the weather is starting to break, it was like 60 degrees out today, which is crazy warm here. I'm just so excited for all the stuff we're gonna be getting ourselves into, and honestly that break really made me appreciate just being able to do everyday stuff, working on cars, and just, you know, doing my thing. So as always, I gotta give a huge thank you to every single one of you guys for the support and for sticking around and enjoying the videos. Means the world to me. But anyways, that's enough sappy stuff for now. Thank you guys so much for checking out this quick little video. Thank you so much for the support. You rock. God bless, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.